Hello, class. We are in chapter 3 of week 2, and we're going to spend a few minutes talking about, and by having you look at what are the norms and ethics in business, what are the driving forces, what type of philosophical approach is an appropriate one. And you can read through the chapter and go over the different ethical philosophical approaches, everything from Immanuel Kant to Aristotle and Plato, as to how is it that you reason through appropriate decisions. What is the role of business? Okay, and really the latter is key, a key question to ask, and that is, as a business manager, what are your priorities? What are your obligations that you owe to shareholders, to clients, to workers within the company, what we refer to as the stakeholders, right? Everybody that business impacts. What are your obligations to those individuals and how you make decisions? What are your obligations to the shareholders? As you go through several chapters in this course, we kind of hit and we'll bounce back to this idea, because at the end of the day, that's what it's about as a business leader, right? Is what are the appropriate decisions? How do you make those decisions? What are the driving forces? So take a look at the different ethical approaches in the chapter. Try to get a sense as to which one is more in line with your philosophical approach of a business. And that's going to drive a lot of your decision making. And how do you balance the pros and cons to every decision that you're making. Now, the advantage of this course, like I mentioned in the very beginning in my introduction, is that business law, having a strong grasp of legal concepts, one gives you an advantage in this type of thinking, because you can truly, once you go over the topics as we go through the semester, is that you're going to touch on a number of different topics, whether it's crime in business, whether it's torts in business, whether it's contracts in business. And those thoughts are going to, those issues as they come up, is if you don't quite understand what are the issues in there, it makes it very difficult to make a decision that's appropriate and that minimizes the negative impact that it has on your stakeholders. And it's difficult to make a decision that maximizes the positive impact that it has on your stakeholders. And you know, one thing that you'll get the sense of as you go through this chapter is that the ethics tries to encapsulate more than just profit, right? There's a Ford case that I will post in this course that discuss what is the role of the shareholder. And the Ford case goes back to the shareholder value concept, and that is that the company is there primarily to drive profits for the shareholders. And whether we like the idea or not, that's the primary function of any business, because it's a for-profit business I'm assuming we're speaking about. So go through. I'm going to post a couple other videos that you can watch as we kind of develop this thought. But as you read through these chapters, definitely take a little bit of time understanding the philosophical approaches. You don't need to read them in great detail. Just a basic introduction is good. You will have plenty of time to think about the ethics of things as we go through. All right, I'm going to stop the video here and generate a couple more to help you get through this chapter.